What is going on out there, peeps? All right, look, I released this video last night. I come back and check out the comments and then respond to them, as most of the time I do. Talk about the quantum financial system. For those of you who've been following me or a subscriber of mine for quite some time, you've heard me discuss the quantum financial system to no end. Despite the fact that some people think, oh, you're just barely talking about it, you can tell you have not been a subscriber very long. No, my thing is this. In anything and everything pertaining to Nicera Gicera, I went on to say, look, I will talk about the things that I can prove. I'm not talking about aliens and clones and 17 miles of gold underneath the damn Vatican, because there's no proof of that whatsoever. And if you guys go, oh, well, so-and-so said it, and you're okay with them just telling you and not proving it, then congratulations, that's on you. But for me, I like to see the receipts. I like to prove. That's why my videos, I'll leave the link down below in the description so that you can go check it out for yourself. You can see the same things that I'm looking at. But when other people tell you some stuff, they're like, well, NDAs, the aliens told me not to talk, and, the clones told me I couldn't do it. It's like, oh, good Lord, really? But when I bring you the information, and I have the proof, or I share the information that I get, and the links with you, and then you're like, oh, well, you're the bad guy. You're speaking out against the truthers. Ugh, good Lord. We're not all going to have the same opinion. I went into Nicera Gicera trying to prove all the things that I could. Everything else is just blowing smoke up your ass. If you're okay with that, then by all means, do you, boo-boo? Seriously. But over here, I will show you. I will talk about the things that I can prove. And I will leave the links. And you can go look for yourself. But every time it's like this. So-and-so and so-and-so said this. So-and-so and so-and-so's been saying this for quite some time. Again, you can tell who's been a subscriber to my channel for a long time versus who hasn't. Based on the comments. I'm serious. So let's get into this because everybody knows the backstory. All this information was coming out about this so-called quantum financial system. And once again, I'll say it this way. The information that was given to us, and I don't care who it is that put it out there in the ether. There was a video going, look, here's the proof. And I went through and I debunked it. And yeah, I debunked it. And I still tell you to this day that video was BS. The information was taken from a bunch of different websites and I proved it. So what I was debunking was the information on that video. People are like, oh, you're attacking so-and-so and so. What? Huh? What? At the time, I didn't even know who put the video out. So it didn't make a difference. I wasn't attacking a person. I was attacking the info. It was doctored up. Oh, Pimpy, you're bad. It's like the Trump landed in Switzerland today on Air Force One. I was like, oh, good Lord. Then I debunked it. It's like, oh, he flipped. He's a shill. It's like, oh, God. You would think that you guys would want, and I mean you guys, I'm generally speaking, because about 98% of you, we're on the same page. There's this couple of people out there that literally are running around. I don't think they're real, to be honest with you. I think they're clones. What do you guys think? Anyways, so I go through to try to help bring light to something. I bring you the information. And if it doesn't line up with your agenda or your cognitive dissident or some other YouTuber, then it's like the end of the world for you. You see, you get a joy out of having all these YouTubers regurgitate the same bullshit. And all they're doing is passing the same info along from one person to another. And you're like, look, so many people, how could it be wrong? Well, if they're all regurgitating the same crap, of course they're on the same page. It's like, for those of you who know, you ever watch Conan and late nights? and he proved that news was scripted. He played video after video of different news agencies repeating the same thing. It was funny at first, but then after a while you start to question it. Why are they all saying the same thing? The exact same thing word for word. It's really disgusting. So that means they are scripted. That's the same thing as this. These other people, it's a form of being scripted. They just repeat what each other hears. And then they all pass it off like it's some information. It's BS. Calm down, people. I told you with me, it's the good, bad, and ugly. So, we did a quantum financial system. So there's new information. Now, here's the thing, and I don't hear, I knew. No, you guys didn't. Because I can't tell how many times I did in the videos and said, okay, give me more information. No comments, no links, no nothing. Because you want to know why? You guys get it from everybody else, the same regurgitated bullshit. Okay? And Slave sent me those articles, and it's funny how a lot of those other YouTubers snagged the same articles and used it. Yeah, right after I made my video. You think that's a quidinky dink? Of course not. Come on, people. So, here's another article. All props again to Enslave. This article was different than the other ones. The other ones I'm talking about that were on Foster Swiss. This one was unique because the individual had went down and explained in detail how the QFS system works. By the way, I did get in contact with that individual. I will be calling them tomorrow. We briefly went back and forth on email. I can't tell you how thrilled I am. Oh yeah, let's hear how many other people got a real live person that works on the QFS. So we'll see. Not that that matters. Great. Now you guys got me sounding like Jeff. Anyways, the point is, whenever I get new information, I bring it and I update it. People are like, you don't even believe in the QFS. I didn't say I didn't believe in it. I didn't say that at all. It's like people saying, you hate cryptocurrencies. I never said I hated cryptocurrencies. I like how people like to... So the problem I have with this type of thinking is this. You can understand why people are the way they are in this divided nation right now. You know, you say one thing, but that's not the words they hear. In their head, it's like perverted and warped and twisted into something you didn't say. You're like, no, that's not what I said. I never said I hated cryptos. I never said that I didn't believe in the quantum financial system. When I first started, I said there was absolutely no proof that it existed. And then once the videos of it came out, I debunked it and said it still doesn't exist. It was only because my friend hit me up and said, look, it's real. But then I was screwed because I usually don't like talking about things unless I can leave a link and you guys can go look for yourself or whatever. Don't get me wrong, about 98% of the time I do that, just 2% of the time that I have to just go out and say what I need to say. Since I had been debunking the QFS system, saying, look, it doesn't exist, there's no proof that it exists, once my friend told me, and he is credible, I was like, yeah, this really sucks. So I didn't want to just leave it out there that the thing didn't exist, because the truth was it does exist. So I made a video and I made a correction and I corrected what I had said prior. So, of course, I'll have one thought about a subject until some new information comes along. I like how these people are going, I've been knowing about this since, December or whatever. So, what's that mean? I don't get it. Like what, you're supposed to be ahead of me in this ball game? You obviously have not went back and looked at my videos, which, by the way, have been damn near all wiped out. So, back then, they will be on a new platform because I saved those bad boys. Yeah, I was talking about this way before then. The funny thing, most of you guys don't even realize this. You guys keep talking about Charlie. I dig Charlie as a person, man. Don't get me wrong. We're not always going to agree on anything to Sarah. And just because we don't agree doesn't mean it's an attack on him. It's just the stuff that I've been hearing recently about him is really, really disappointing. Selling people gold-backed Chinese QFS bonds. I thought the person was lying that told me this. And then I found out through multiple people that it was true. Telling people to send you the serial numbers on your IQDs, which are your Iraqi dinars. I was like, why would you guys telling people there's this foundation? And, I'm like, wait a minute. So, of course, eventually, it got to the point where a subscriber, not one of Charlie's, but that Simon dude, but they talk, they're all part of that same group. The rumor is there was a person who committed suicide based on being stressed by what people said. These people in this group. That's really sad to hear. So I said, if it's true, and I heard it by multiple people, then of course I felt compelled to come out and speak out against those people who took this movement, twisted it, perverted it, and now is jacking people for it. Selling gold-backed QFS bonds. What the hell? They're you're ripping people off. JFK notes, ripping people off. When you start taking something and twisting it and then lying and go crazy on it, and then, trying to convince people that you're something that you're not, that's when I'll say, okay, enough's enough. And then I'll say something about it. And then I said whatever I needed to say, and I just moved on. It's up to you guys whether you follow them or not. I don't try to tell you one way or another. QFS is a classified event, of course, or you ain't going to know much about it. Well, it's not that classified because it seems like everybody knows about it. So, just paying off the debt and rolling back to a republic under 1776 gave you the results listed in the Sarah Jacera. Even Basel III is saying they're tired of funny money ruling the world. Add the blockchain and XRP, and you're seeing it in front of your face. They're not coming out on CNN and making an announcement. Been changed since Trump's elected. See, that's the one thing about the Sarah Jacera doing my research. A lot of the things that I could prove actually didn't start happening until Trump got in office. So say what you want about it, but that was what I could prove. Okay. So let's so Basel III. So just the Basel compliance in general came about supposedly because of what happened in 2008 with the too big to fail banks, and then it failed, and then all of a sudden they're like, hey, look, people, don't raise hell. We're going to make some new rules. But trust me, anytime the banking people are involved, they make it look like they're doing something in your favor. And although it does look like Basel III is going to end the manipulation of precious metals, that's why you guys should be buying them now. Don't forget, go to Money Metals Exchange. Okay, so you should be stocking up. June 28th is the first group of people, which is in Europe. They go first, and the UK and us shortly after. We're not all going at the same time, but nonetheless, it looks like these rules appear to stop the manipulation of metals. We'll see where it leads. Thanks. Got all this info. I read all the government websites every single day looking for things to understand. And my gut simply tells me that there's nothing good about cryptos except for what you see on paper. I'll be one of the ones that goes back to grassroots. I'll have things paid off, only use money or precious metals to buy and sell. Yeah, I think sometimes what happens is as technology moves forward, people want things to be a lot more quicker and very convenient for them instead of have to work for it. But then what happens is now we end up in this situation like we are, where, even though this thing might do something good for you, the fact, what you end up worrying about is the people who are behind it, making sure they're not nefarious. Okay. Which, Jill, since you're so behind in the quantum financial system news, are you aware that the central banks all over the globe are being taken out and why they're being taken out? Behind on the news? What the hell are you talking about? Nobody's behind. The real news or the fake news? You let me know, okay? So am I aware they're being taken out? Well, Jill, let me tell you, they're not. As a matter of fact, they're all gearing up right now to create a central bank digital currency. So how do you see that the central banks are all being taken out? I don't see that happening. Do you understand how powerful the bankers are? I mean, seriously, how powerful they are. That was my concern about cryptocurrencies in general. These bankers aren't going to let any type of new technology compete with the dollar. It's just not going to happen. They're too powerful. Now, having said that, I support in every single way what cryptocurrencies stand for and is trying to do. My thing is, these bankers are so intertwined in bed buddies with our politicians around the world and all the other corrupt entities that are involved. I just don't see how you're going to do away with banking. It's just not going to happen. So, Jill, why don't you answer that? How are they going to be taken out? You explain to me how it is right now that they're literally changing all their technology, moving into the new form of currency, because every 80, 90 years we go into some new currency reset. We get some type of new reserve dollar. It's that time. That's where we are. Now, that doesn't mean I support it. I rather us go back to the gold standard, to be quite honest with you. Oh, here's Jill again. Pimpy, quantum financial system is up and running, is currently being connected to the Starlink system. I have known about it over a year. Why are you questioning it? Well, Jill, I tell you what, can you do me a favor? Show me your proof. I was able to prove it. I showed you that Starlink. What the hell? This sounds like... Is it me? Or isn't this from the Terminator? Am I crazy? Starlink, right? Okay. Oh, actually, yeah. Speaking, I'm glad that I couldn't. This is good. So, the people that I am going to be talking to about my social media platform, this is their system actually. So it's funny. This system right here, this is going to be a satellite to satellite type of internet connection. So yeah, very thrilled about this. But they're called Nexus, is who I'm talking about. Thanks to Rice Crypto for mentioning them to me. But it looks like we're going to be talking to them about possibly doing moving our project over with them. And they told me the name of the system, and I totally spaced it. So I'm glad you brought this up because it reminded me. But I was like, this sounds like something from, no wonder why I heard of it from them people. But I thought, oh, this has got to be definitely a Terminator thing. Why are you questioning it? We've known about it for a year and a half or longer. Why am I questioning what did you know about it? You mean to tell me because you guys heard other people talk about it? Where did you get the evidence? So I tell you what, Jill and Lori, feel free to post where you found your information. But here's the catch. I don't want it from any other blogger or YouTuber. Where is the legitimate? I don't want to hear we had to sign NDAs or my Intel person who I can't name. I don't want none of that. You see, the difference between me and them is I'm going to be bringing a legitimate person on that actually knows about it. And I'm not talking about the one that the other truthers use. As a matter of fact, I do believe they caught it on video, if I'm not mistaken. The time that, was it the cleaning lady? Is that what it is? Let's take a look.
I'm going to put the part. Charlie claims that he rang the central bank and he was on the phone and he got put through to a department and the cleaning lady answered. Now, this cleaning lady was busy dusting the quantum financial system top secret computers, and he had a nice little chat with her about when the QFS is going live. It's ridiculous. And I happen to, it seems ridiculous, but I happen to have obtained the actual CC. I rang up the central bank, right, and they put me through to the same department, right, and the cleaning lady was on shift, and she picked up and she said, "Oh, well, I have access to the CCTV room too," and what she did was she burned off the CCTV of the phone call with Charlie Ward. It did happen. So let's take a look at the CCTV footage from inside the bank with the cleaning lady.
We were doing something else, and I was having a chat with them. And I mentioned the other day, I phoned up the central bank because we were doing something else, and I was having a chat with them. They put me through to
I just noticed something. It almost looks like Bell's palsy. Is that what that is? Hopefully Charlie's okay.
the department, and the cleaner picked up the phone.
Oh, good Lord.
Sadie, with trusty scrubbing brush and pail of water.
I'm like,
Hello.
I'm not the Messiah, I'm just Charlie. So can you help me?
Oh, no, I'm just a cleaner. I'm not qualified to give financial advice, but I will do my best to be helpful.
Oh, okay. So how's it going in there?
Oh, well, you know, it's quite quiet. No one here to answer the phones.
What do you think of the new computer system? It's nice, isn't it?
Oh, well, it's beautiful. You're cleaning it just now.
When do you think they're going to turn it on then?
Well, I suppose I haven't signed any non-disclosure agreement, so I can tell any Tom, Dick and Charlie about it. I think it will be the beginning of April. Not long now.
Because she's not under an NDA, she's just...
Oh, good Lord. Again, people, I like Charlie. He seems like a nice guy. I had no issues with him until all of a sudden all this new information started coming up about these what appears to be scams, and then that was kind of a turnoff. I was like, yeah, see, I don't want to be associated with that. So shout out to the Drift Busters. They have been brutally discrediting anything and everything these guys are doing. So sure, I know they're mocking the whole QFS system. It is kind of funny, to be quite honest with you. I've actually talked with M in an interview. As a matter of fact, it's right here on Rice's show. So, you know, he, just like everybody else, just like you guys do, because me and Charlie have done interviews together, there's automatically this association. There's this link together because we talk about the same. This is M right here, follow M Seeker. Oh, man, this is brutal. So he does a really good job, man. You can't deny that this guy's research is him and his team are really good. And, you know, they, to be quite honest, there was a lot of things they brought to my attention that I was not aware of. Right. So once I seen that, it was really disappointing. Because so many people listen, not just to my show, but to his show. And if you start taking this information and misleading people to financially benefit from it for all the wrong reasons, then that's not something I can get behind. It says, yeah, I saw the Terminator. If you're asking what if the QFS goes rogue, what to do, pull the plug out of the wall. Oh, my goodness. Trump and Mike Liddell speaking tomorrow in Wisconsin. Yeah, let me tell you something. See, one of the things that got my other channel removed was because we aired, there's 11 of us that aired a link in which was tied to what was going on in the audit over in Wisconsin, and the information they shared was devastating. And so because we shared it, we got the boot. So on my new website that's coming out, remember that these are different. I have a social media platform being created. That's going to take some time. I have a new website to post videos on that I can't put on here because you'll get in trouble for that. A lot of the same thing that was like on the hidden things in front of your eyes, but even more unfiltered, because even that was on YouTube and you could see it got me pulled. So it's hard to talk about and relay information that's important for you guys to know, especially with all the audits going on. There's so much information, and it's they're trying very hard to really suppress and censor the information, unfortunately. It's not just earthly help. Off-world assistance is way above your pay grade. It's not just earthly. I'm assuming you're trying to say there's aliens involved with this. Did they help with the clones? I'm wondering. I don't know how that works. Apparently, it's active. Personally, I have not seen it activated in my finances. So, it says Charlie Ward has information on it, supposedly. Well, wait a minute. Isn't he part of the QFS board? Isn't that what my understanding is? In all honesty, I would like to see Jacera happen sooner rather than later. So, the system is on. And as a matter of fact, I did find some other videos of people who talk about quantum financing. Not the system, just quantum technology in general. Again, I told everybody, I heard about quantum technology go back to the late 90s. But the whole thing about the quantum information, it was dealing more with the healthcare industry. Not anything to do with banking. And also the encryption that they had was really, really super important. So I do know and heard about the quantum technology, which is not the same thing as a quantum financial system. Sure, they use quantum technology, but again, they're two separate subjects. So I knew about quantum computing and quantum systems going back to the 90s. And it was in its early stages. And so it was exciting to see and hear about. But the idea that they had for it in the healthcare industry, it's already been tested and it's already running as far as the healthcare side of it. Now, this article went on to say that the QF system is up and running, but at a very limited range. It's not worldwide. Whatever that needs to be done to it is still being tweaked. So, I'll definitely keep an eye out for it. You honestly believe Charlie Ward, the criminal fraud? Okay, dirty cabal. There you go. Show your proof Charlie is a crook and a liar. Oh, so what did you say? So honestly believe Charlie Fraud, the criminal that moved dirty money for the cabal. There will never be Nasera or Jacera as long as the Illuminati controls. Got it. Well, the whole thing is, I mean, look, if you manifest it enough, it will happen, in my opinion. That's why I said in the beginning, even if these movements were fake, there was enough people now listening, paying attention, and want it to happen so much that it was actually manifesting. Okay? Show your proof that Charlie's a crook and a liar. You know, look, everybody. Again, the one thing about Seeker, Truth Seeker, here's the thing. Dude, he has been, he had Charlie Ward's son on, and even Charlie Ward's son said his father was a fraud, ripping people off for money. So when your own kid comes on and says that, that's really sad. Again, Charlie as a person, as many times I talked to him, really nice guy. But all the crap that I heard that was going on his website, yeah, I'm not a fan of that, right? If you're taking advantage of old people and the retirements and people who are easily misled by telling them you have the official gold-backed Chinese QFS bond, or that you got some kind of cufflinks that Trump gave you personally, stuff like that, there's nothing cool about that. You know what I mean? That when you start doing that type of stuff to your subscribers, that's just not cool. And again, I like Charlie, but if that's the kind of stuff you're doing to the point where somebody committed suicide, yeah, then I'm going to speak out. But like I said, I said what I had to say. You guys could go do your own research on whether or not Charlie is a criminal or not. I already said what I had to say. If you go to Truth Seeker, I encourage you guys to go This guy has done his due diligence. He's bringing on family members. He's bringing on people who, have been taken advantage of. And it's, yeah, to be quite honest, really, really disappointing. It's disappointing. So continue listening. That's your prerogative. We're not always going to agree, as far as me, Charlie, and all his group of friends, on the information. Sometimes we line up, sometimes we don't. But I don't sit there and get the 4 o'clock in the morning facts telling me what it is we're supposed to talk about. That's because I do my own thing. I'm separate. Research, Hedera, Hashgraph. There's something about it I read a long time ago. I liked it, but I believe it's the biggest contender for the QFS platform. So, and if you go back, and I left the link for the articles, so you guys have them. You could go back and see the article that I just did, how they have it lined up, how they're going to use it. So it isn't going to just be one token. There's going to be multiple tokens. So everybody talking about how, because I heard a rumor that, we were told that XRP is going to be the special token, and then there was some backpedaling on it. You know what I mean? So it's just, yeah. Get the proof. Get the links. You're looking for the word NFT, non-fungible tokens. Yeah, that's what it is. That are carrying art and selling it in the open market. Yeah, last night, man, I'm telling you, the lights were on, but not everybody was home. I was struggling with pronunciations on a couple of words, which is kind of funny because it was getting late, but I like the information. I wanted to share it. But non-fungible tokens. So, yeah, very interesting. Thank you, Patricia. I appreciate that. Very interesting. That's what I liked about this most recent article, was because the gentleman went in great detail on how it works. It's a jubilee, much more than this, Pimpy. Oh, hey, I'm on the same page. It's not that I don't want it, but I'm trying to prove. I'm the guy going out there trying to prove that it's real. I'm not just sitting here saying it's real. And, no. Don't take people's words at it. I keep saying this over and over. You people, next thing you know, you believe on this date this is going to happen, and, you start selling everybody, your wife and your dog and stuff, because you think you're going to be rich. And the next thing you know, it doesn't happen. Did you guys become depressed? So not only did that thing trigger me in a way when I heard that a subscriber had killed himself, and I said this already before in other videos, the reason why that was upsetting to me is because I could tell you that personally, I've walked about 5 people off the ledge myself. And what I mean by that is people saying, look, I'm really depressed with all the news, Pimpy. I'm really thinking about killing myself. I don't want to be in this new world that's coming up. Man, I had to talk to them. I'm like, look. They're like, well, everybody's saying this and it's not happening. I go, oh, see, that's why I don't do that. I can only talk about what literally I can prove. Again, the thing about the QFS, I'm trying to find proof that it's there. It's not that I doubt my friend. I don't. But it's just hard to say to you people, hey, it's real, and then that's it. I want to be able to give you something that proves it. Now, the funny part about that, and the irony of it is, you got people out there saying it's real, and they have no proof. They just are winging it. And they heard all these rumors, but they actually didn't know whether or not it exists. And then I come on and go, hey, it's real. And then now everybody's like, now, great. Now, if I prove it, you know what that does, right? If I prove that it's real, you're not going to hear me say I'm on an NDA. You know what I mean? I don't have to do that. See, that makes a great excuse for you not to give proof. You see what I'm saying? How all these people, well, I got this special person. Computer back screens, wooden codes, whatever it is they use, clones. It's just perfect how all these things fit as an excuse not to share the information with you. Again, that's the difference between what I do and other people do. I'm out there trying to find the proof for all of us because I think we all want the same thing. So when I find it, I share it. But if it doesn't line up with the people that you listen to, then I'm somehow the bad guy. Oh my God, thanks for the last Pimpy. I was on my way to work this morning, had you plugged in to my radio. I've had those moments too. Automation, God, that word last night. What was I saying? Automation. I cannot get the damn word out. And the thing that sucks is, in my mind, I'm like, oh no, this is the word, but my mouth is not pronouncing it right. And the harder I tried to say the word, after a while, I was like, look, really, I just give up. I started to read and I go, oh yeah, automation. Oh my God, yeah, that was funny. I was like, oh boy, these guys are gonna rip my ass tomorrow, that's for sure. That really worked my millions. I love that. Anyways, we are all only human. Everyone has a slip up now and again. I greatly appreciate all the info that you give us. It's all very confusing. Yeah, it is. And that's why, again, I really do try, you guys. I know it's confusing because you hear all this crap out there, dates, rates, and there's excuses. See, nah, we're not going to do that. I'm not here. I'm going out there trying to prove it. Okay? And if I find the opposite and I debunk it, don't jump all over me because somebody lied to you about something. You should be happy that I showed you the truth. So it's very confusing what's taking place, and you are trying to help keep us informed. We are all just winging it right now, brother. Yeah, for the most part, we are. Seriously. There is no one person that knows 100% of what's going on besides those people who are involved, if you get my drift. So anybody out there in YouTube world talking about, oh, I got the inside scoop. No, you don't. Because like the first comment on here that, this stuff, for the most part, is going to be very classified. Just like when I speak about the dinars, for those of you who listen to these videos, and you got these people talking about, I got my insider telling me that on this date and this rate. You understand how illegal that is, right? That's illegal. That's how I know they're lying. It's like insider trader information. Ask Martha Stewart about that. People sharing information with you like that is really, really dangerous. So, that's why I'm saying you gotta be careful about this stuff. Where did I leave you at? Oh, it is my belief that the whole pandemic was a front for all the new rollout of whatever is to come. It was. If you go to the Great Reset, you could see that it was obvious. You could just see how they have the whole entire website laid out, and you go, "Oh yeah, this thing was." Even the funny thing is, the Prince Charles is on there, and he just goes, "This has been in the plans for 50 years." I go, "There you go, Charlie. Let it out there. Let people know that this has been planned for 50 years." He literally says that. So yeah, too many things point to the truth, and it's exactly what you said. This is a pandemic. Keeping up and keeping us, where are we at? Roll out whatever's to come, keeping us confused and distracted. Something definitely is going on. Yeah, there's no doubt about that. You could just see the writing is on the wall. And I do believe, don't get me wrong, these people are like, Trump's still in office. No, he's not. But having said that, I absolutely believe that he has now learned his lesson on a lot of what to do and not to do when it comes to our government. I think he's exposed a lot of things that people only heard rumors about and was able to prove it. And I do believe now, after everything that we've seen on the event that happened on November 3rd, you know what I'm talking about, after the way the Dems have been acting since they've been in office, yeah, I absolutely have no doubt that people that were sitting on the fence in positions of power are now speaking out. You guys seen a letter that 120 something high-ranking officers wrote a letter saying they don't believe Biden's the president, and that this November 3rd event had some nefarious things behind it. The fact that you're getting brass that high up, who's very connected, now siding with Trump is something to see. You know what I mean? Very something. Now, we also seen letters magically show up for the other side going, oh, yeah, well, we think this about Trump. Of course, you guys got to understand, this whole New World Order agenda has been in the makes for many, many years. That's all this is. So, obviously, they've infiltrated our government. And so to the point that, again, we didn't realize how bad it was, but, we heard rumors, but definitely more than ever, we've seen them all come out. The funny thing is, and again, all credit to Lisa because she brought this up and it was funny. I definitely need a shirt that says that. And I had one, but it's gone. It says, I need new conspiracies because all my old ones came true. So that's the best way to put it. Okay, definitely going on. Where are we at here? I also believe that the depth of what is going on behind the scenes, we've been for decades. Yeah, absolutely, I believe it. We put the feeble-minded people in a hospital for mental breakdowns, If they even knew the fraction of it. Yeah, again, everybody knows. I spoke about this. My friend, he's. I used to say ex-CIA, but even he says there's no such thing. So he is a former CIA. He's a CIA, and so I've not heard from him in a long time, and it's sad to think, but I think my friend finally passed away to cancer. So he's taught me a whole life. I mean, a whole lot in the whole time that I was graced with him. But he said, if you knew even 10% of what I know about what really goes on everywhere, you couldn't sleep at night. Sometimes it's so scary. Unless you're really tough, you'd think about suicide because you wouldn't want to know what kind of monsters are out there. But having said that, there's also a lot of very great people as well. So it was good to hear that. But I can only imagine. I mean, that guy showed me legitimate pictures of UFOs. I'm not talking about the fake ones. I'm talking about some big effing UFOs that are on the dark side of the moon. And so I was like, what the hell? Man, they were unbelievable to see. But yeah, so, again, I agree. If people really knew the truth about everything, they'd be sick to their stomach. So, anyways, Bill, I appreciate this. You going off the deep of the rabbit hole? No, you need to get here. Okay, so we'll get past these comments. Okay, financial freedom is required for peace. So, if you guys remember, we saw when I first started doing the Nasera Jacera videos, we saw, I believe it was the UN, as well as World Bank, talking about, for a lot of the countries doing 100% debt forgiveness. Also was aware very much of there was some negotiations going on between countries on the debt. So very interesting. There will be a U.S. Treasury note that won't say Federal Reserve. There's no more Federal Reserve. So, yeah, that's how the old notes used to be. I never said that. Again, you guys, people think the Federal Reserve is a government agency. It's not. It's a private bank. It's crazy how many people don't know this. Pimpy, I've known about the QFS since 2012. Now, that's known about it for a long time. That's the first time I heard about it in 2012. It's been changed up over the years, but it's all about AI running things, a brain of its own. So, Jameen, I hope I said your name right. Jaeen. Yeah. Yeah, so that article goes on to say that AI is part of it, but it's struggling because AI actually has a habit of picking up the mannerisms of human beings. So it was interesting to read it, something along those lines. But, you could see on the video, I paused at it, but I had to laugh about it, but at the same time. So there's some tweaking that's being done. Okay, so absolutely there's some tweaking being done to the AI portion of it. You don't want any kind of group of people, I don't care who they are, you don't want a group of people in charge of something like that. Because as well-meaning as humans tend to be, again, when it comes to corruption, power, greed, and money, it changes people. So the wrong type of people in charge of something like that could be very dangerous for everybody. It's real and it's legit. Yep. Get some sleep. Your tongue can't keep up with your brain. Oh my God, Chris, that's funny. Yeah, seriously, can't. Man, seriously, I'm like dazed, but my eyes are just moving. My brain's like, go ahead and go to sleep. I'll take over from here. Yeah, definitely my tongue was twisted last night. That was terrible. Oh my God. Fiat worthless? Shit coins used for decades? BTCH is old technology? Yeah, it's old. People don't realize it's been around since like the 60s or 70s. Yeah. Cool. Pimpy, you attempted to debunk. What did I attempt to debunk? Let's see here. The truth. I attempted to debunk the truth. You listened to some uninformed bureaucrat. Based on that, you trashed it. What are you talking about? What uninformed bureaucrat? Did I trash what? I've seen loads of info on it. It's true. It's here. Then when I quit listening to you, it's so much bigger than you're giving it credit for. It has consciousness, well, then, yeah, definitely. Yeah. So, You have tons of infos. Well, feel free to share it unless you're under an NDA. You know what I mean? No. So far, all info that's been given to me when I tell you guys to prove it, all you're doing is giving me some website of a blogger or some YouTube channel of somebody that just says they're telling you the info, but there's no legitimate proof to it. Seriously. If it wasn't for enslaved, even I wouldn't have had the websites that I had. And at least those are a lot more credible than all the other crap that's out there. That's about as close to credibility as you could get. But definitely have somebody hopefully coming on soon here that could put a light to all this. So, no, I didn't talk to no bureaucrat, and no bureaucrat bashed it. So I'm not even sure where you even got this from. So again, I swear I say something and you guys are not hearing the words that are coming out of my mouth. And in your head, you've created this, your own story. So I don't know where this came from. What bureaucrat did I listen to? There was no bureaucrat that I listened to. And then on that, you trashed it. No, actually, if there's a bureaucrat, it told me that it exists. Here's Jill again. Thank you for saying that because I am shocked, and I've already stated it several times here about Pimpy not knowing anything about it, and the question it makes me sick to my stomach. Anything about it? Well, Jill, all you guys know is the regurgitated crap that is shared from one another. What other info do you and Patty up there have? Feel free to share it. Feel free to share it. Let me see your proof. You've known this. You have, what'd you say? I have loads of info on it. Well, share the info. But I don't want any info that's not legitimate. I don't want it from bloggers. I want something that's proof. I want something with substance. Let me guess, you two bought gold-backed Chinese QFS bonds, I'm guessing. How? Only way to connect conscious is to have a chip implanted in you. Yeah, it's a good point. I don't know. What do you mean conscious? Oh, yeah, up here. It has... Yeah, I don't know about that. That would be unique for sure. This screams XRP. Don't be left out. You're such an XRP pupper. Here comes Jill again. Jill's bored. Exactly. This is why Bitcoin is going down, and people will soon be finding out the connection of Bitcoin and where it comes from and why it even exists, and none of it is good. XRP is the way to go. What makes you think XRP is the way to go? Just for those you don't know, it says there will be no more fiat money and the SWIFT system will be gone. Well, Jill, obviously you don't know more than me. On several occasions, I proved to you that even the CEO of Ripple told you that XRP is the new SWIFT 2.0 system. This is why they have all the contracts with all the financial institutions. They are the new SWIFT 2.0. So much for you knowing more. This I've been saying for a while now. I mean, my friends believe the QFS is coming. So it's there, but I really would love to have, I'm really, really excited in a way because, again, we heard that it was real. So again, here's my dilemma. Now, if I go out there and prove that it's real, and I'm the one that proves it, everybody's going to see the other people were right. Why? Because they just said it out there? Well, if you throw enough shit against the wall, something's bound to stick, and a broken clock is right twice a day. So you know what I mean? You know what? Telling people that you got an NDA or, you got this person who talks to you, but you can't tell you who it is, that's bullshit. They don't have the information. They're just all regurgitating the same crap that they heard. So I'm really, the stuff that I've learned so far about the system is not exactly what we're being told. Don't get me wrong, it's similar in a lot of ways, but as far as its functionality is concerned, there are some slight differences that I'm hoping to bring to you guys so you guys can appreciate it. There are two quantum financial systems, one good and one bad. Okay, I'll take it. No way to test this system gives power back to the people in China. Well, I can tell you right now that according to the article, the QFS system is housed in the AIIS which is connected to the BIS and China. So there's more to it, and no one will be able to corrupt the system. If humans program it to put it all together, then there's a way to corrupt it. Got to understand that it's a computer. There's no gray areas. There's black and white, period. There either is a you do or you don't. Can it be corrupted? Of course, because humans created it. I would love a system that couldn't be corrupted. So I support the idea, but that's really hard. Thanks, Pimpy. Appreciate the hard work. Thank you for tuning in. I do appreciate it. You are the Don. Thanks. Thanks, JJ. Appreciate it. I think it is Gunther Sunfield. Is that who you think I'm talking to? E-Bone. I'll let you think about it. No, just kidding. That is who I'm talking to, by the way. And so we emailed back and forth real quick, and I'm going to give him a call tomorrow. He did share some information on the QFS system quickly with me, but he said, he has a lot of knowledge. This guy, first of all, is phenomenal. Well, okay, I don't want to get too far because I get sidetracked here on this, but he is a phenomenal guy. This guy's unbelievable, man. And the more I learned about him, the more I'm interested in him because him and I have a lot of the same belief systems, I guess is the best way to put it. Yo, Pimp Dog, you're right. Pound a G. I love to. Anything can be good, including AI, its intentions and uses, or the people at the helm. There you go. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Must be good. So again, it's really the people that are putting it together. You really want it to be, you know what I mean? Starlink is kind of sketchy because it's also a tracker and will be serviced out of the most remote area. Yeah, well, really what I think the Starlink really is for, to be honest with you, is for us to, get out past, travel and go to Mars and stuff like that. Starlink's going to be, its main job is going to be, I believe, dealing with communications. But what Nexus is talking about, and I do believe that's the system they're talking about, because Starlink, according to what I just looked at, is, the SpaceX program. And so I'm looking forward to seeing if there's a way we can launch our social media platform on there and it can be untouchable, which is what you want. A true free speech platform that can't be edited, anything. As a matter of fact, my understanding is once it's launched, nobody can change it, not even the people that launch it. So, it's out there. That's what I want. So, when it comes to anything, and that means any technology, I've said this in videos before, one of the best things I ever heard from a gentleman was this. If you have an idea that you want to invent, and you know it's a great idea, before you invent it, you got to ask yourself these questions. 1, does it benefit everybody? 2, does everybody have access to it? Can they afford it? 3, can the government take control of it and use it against you as a weapon? If you answer yes to the last question, don't invent it. And I thought that was the greatest thing ever. Question, how do we sneak something bad in without creating a rebellious force? Answer, you disguise it as something else. Good. Yeah, actually, that's exactly right. Like the jab. There you go. Okay, so, this is a great video. I agree. Too much power. Never again. The Lord showed me only God. Add silver coins. Yeah, silver is the way. In our town, all the gold is in 3 banks. When the country is conquered, the military takes all the gold. Yeah, I mean, we did that over there in the Middle East. So anyways, you guys, that's it. I want to keep going. I do appreciate all the support and love in there. And trust me, you trollers and you people that are upset, I don't mind. Hey, look, if you could prove to me, give me your evidence, give me your proof. And if you could prove that I'm wrong, by all means, I'll come back and make corrections and give you kudos. But don't give me somebody else's regurgitated crap Show me some real stuff like I'm doing. All right, that's it for now. Hit the thumbs up button if you're not a subscriber. Please do so, because when you do, it helps out the channel, and I surely do appreciate it. I'll catch you later. I'm out.